Okay, so I'm gonna call us to order at whatever, 7:02 PM. This is Capital Planning Committee. And our agenda for tonight is really to discuss all the items that we've had on our list over the last few weeks and all the things that we've heard. And now to start determining what things we like as projects. Margaret, I have a quick question before we start. Have we heard back about bridge expenses yet?
The engineer hasn't gotten back to us yet. So they're probably, oh, here's John now. Yeah, my hope is that we hear from them in the next week or so, but not quite yet.
Okay.
I'll give them another day.
Oh, just a day?
Give another day.
You're like, they gotta write a report. We need to know.
They do. It's not just a simple little proposal when it comes to engineers.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
Hi, good evening.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I had trouble logging in.
Oh.
My computer's acting up.
Oh, just like Janet.
Yeah, my computer, I'm on my phone. My computer, I can't even get my computer to turn on.
My AOL account just freezes up and I have to reboot the whole thing. And it's crazy.
That is
Anyway,
not ideal. Not ideal. Darn COVID. Anyway.
So blame it for everything.
That's right. So would you like, where do you want to start, Anna?
I don't know. At the top of the list, I don't know what that is. How about how much money is FinCom giving us?
Okay, so here's what we've got. And I apologize, this is small. In fact, I could actually enlarge it for now, just so you can see what the available funds look like. Can you see that, or do you need it bigger?
That's good.
Is it? Okay. All right. So I'm going to scroll. So you see the capital plan showed a 2023 column, but those were requests from prior years and they tend to drop off, right. People don't resubmit. So I did a 2023 submitted requests column. So and we could hide the 2023 later, but all right. So down here. All right, so the total requested amount for 2023 is at $1,046,555, and that includes the 490 on Laura for CPA.
Does that also include the bridge?
No, it does not include the bridge,
okay.
Which we'd be looking at from other funds as well. But okay, so then down here I did available funding sources. So what's available in public safety mitigation? I'm going to make this a little bigger. I can't even see it. Public safety mitigation, $126,449. And you can see that the police and fire requests combined total $123,941. How about that?
Oh, that's intriguing.
Isn't it? So we had taken the real balance. I mean, the current balance in public safety mitigation is actually 336 plus. But we apply roughly $210,000 to the operating budget under public safety personnel costs. So I reduced it by that amount. Then there's free cash. Free cash that's available to the budget this year based on the free cash guidelines is $592,841. And free cash to capital stabilization. So the special article that you might put to move money into capital stabilization, you could do 197,614, or you could even do more if you wanted, but it's a baseline of 10% of the certified free cash. Ambulance receipts, we're not going to worry about this year because the ambulance has been purchased. CPA, I do not have a number yet. That's going to have to wait, but up in the column that the land acquisition, it looks like they're going to request another $490,000 from CPA to purchase it and then go for a reimbursement grant. That's what it's looking like now. or they're going to request $490,000 from somewhere. Not identified or other, that's where the bridge is going to fall, right in this area, because that would be from chapter 90 in grants or grants. And then the total available is $916,904.
Okay.
Okay,
But the year is not over yet, huh?
excuse me?
So the year is not over yet, so it's
No.
gonna be more.
No, that's right. That's right. These are the ones that were submitted on time, John. So anyway, so there's not a huge discrepancy between what's being requested and the available funds, about $100,000, little over $100,000. But there are a couple of requests in here that we can go down the list. First, yeah, we can go down the list and then talk about each one if you want to. All right, so going down the list, the first one is the fire department car 1 replacement. That's the chief's vehicle. And I am very sorry. So I didn't attend your last meeting. And was it decided to require a hybrid vehicle, or was that still up in the air?
It was, we hadn't discussed anything whatsoever. So the possibility of a hybrid vehicle was discussed. It is possible, but no rules have been, or no requests have been made yet.
Okay.
And I definitely think that's a great topic for discussion. My immediate question on the fire and EMS, the fire vehicle as well as the police vehicle, if I understand correctly, the current vehicles that are being driven by both the fire chief and the police chief, both of those are going to go to the fire inspector who is currently driving the brush truck.
No, according to Eric, as Eric did his finance committee presentation last night, and he said the Chevy Volt will be going, the hybrid car that Chief Galvin used to drive, that will be going to the fire inspector. Janet, is that what you heard?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric is gonna be driving the pickup truck because it has the most mileage already, and he has a very short commute and would only be using it to and from work. Isn't that what I understood?
That's what I heard. So as far as the chief's vehicle, I'm not clear on what's going to go on with the current vehicle. I do know that it's not in the greatest shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would be, yeah.
Yeah, definitely the police chief said that his Volt was going to go to the fire inspector.
Mhm.
But I thought that Chief Clark had said that as well previously.
Okay, so I would like, so I think that it's worthwhile disposing of, given that there are sufficient vehicles between the two departments, I think given the maintenance requirements on the car 1, the fire car 1, I'd probably recommend disposing of his current vehicle once this new vehicle is acquired.
And does anyone have any thoughts about Margaret's question about requiring a hybrid vehicle?
I'm okay with hybrid, but if you can find it, yeah, police chief wants a big car. And I don't think there are good hybrids in that category.
Right. The biggest hybrid they're going to find probably is the Kelly Brown sent a list. The biggest one they're going to find is the Ford Explorer.
What's wrong with the Ford Explorer?
There's smaller vehicles, but Yukon, I don't know if you can get Yukon in hybrid.
Yukon, that's huge.
Yeah, but that's what he is asking for.
No, yeah, he's asking for a Tahoe, which definitely does not come in a hybrid. But he's currently,
different.
yeah, but he's currently driving something smaller. And I don't understand why, I would agree that an Explorer would be smaller than a Tahoe, but I don't know that it's significantly smaller. I mean, it's not a Volt versus a Tahoe.
No.
Is this car, is she gonna be using this car mostly for driving home and back and forth?
Yes, and responding to scenes. So he will have some equipment in it. They also have a pickup truck. So I guess I need more clarification on that too. I'm really an advocate for at least trying to get the hybrids because it will help us maintain our green community status and allow us to remain qualified for green communities grants in the future. But I would defer to Eloise because Eloise is a member of the Energy Committee and she might have additional thoughts on that.
I did look through the list that Kelly Brown did, but I left confused when I started. There didn't seem to be any clear cut, if you want this, choose that. That's what I was looking for. And I am out of my element with vehicles. Well, I drive a 2004, I'm a little bit behind.
Eloise.
What?
So I'm looking at the chief's request right now on command car 1, just to see if there's if there are any specifics as to the need for that space.
My understanding is that he just felt his equipment would fit better.
Ford Explorer. Right? What's the Tahoe for? Still smaller. A little smaller.
I know that some people are Chevy people versus Ford people too.
That's true.
But then he could get his own car.
I think, you know what, I don't know how much equipment he needs to have in the, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what he needs to put in it, I guess is my point. Maybe we need to figure that out.
Yeah. And maybe look at the cubic, the interior, space, the differences between Tahoe and Explorer and see if it's significant. And I don't know. I don't drive a big SUV, so I don't know.
I don't know. I do remember him saying that you can't always transfer between different years. In the old days, they did transfer the equipment if there was any life in it at all. And I remember him saying that just the setups for lights or communications are that different.
Yeah, I remember that too, Eloise, now that you're bringing that up.
So the internet says that the 2020 Chevy Tahoe is 5 inches longer, 1 inch wider, and 4 inches taller than an Explorer. So
A little bit bigger, yeah.
So like 20 square inches larger?
What's the price differential?
I don't know.
If the price differential is minimal, then I'll just go with what they want. It's under the 123,000.
So the basic Tahoe starts at 50,000 and a basic Ford Explorer starts at 33,000.
Right.
Again, according to the internet.
So one of the concerns I have with green communities, and I'm not trying to sway you one way or another, but Kelly Brown has made it clear that one of the things that's really kind of a mark against us, we're doing well on our building energy usage, despite our highway garage, but it's our increased vehicle gas fuel usage that is bringing us down as far as our maintaining our designation. So I'm all for trying to do hybrids, trying to keep hybrids in the fleet wherever it's practical. Now, if it's not practical at all for the fire chief to use a hybrid, then I guess we need to know.
The other thing to remind Kelly is the town is one of the fastest growing towns on 495.
Yes.
And that will impact all of your services.
Good point.
Yep.
Hybrid is not fully electric, so it still has engine in it. If it's just a battery booster when you start to move the vehicle, that's where you save the most fuel. From start to 30 miles per hour, something like
Okay.
that.
So
And he can charge that thing while sitting in the office. So,
Right.
So maybe we could reach out I would suggest to both Chief Clark and the police chief and see if they can get price quotes for
I can take a look at that if you want me to, yeah.
That would be great. Because I think having a price differential
Yes.
is important. I know for my business, every time I've looked at purchasing a hybrid, the savings, the
Okay,
fuel
I'll take
savings
a look
don't
at that
equal the
and
cost difference.
I'll send email, yeah.
Okay, great, perfect. So we'll table that for now.
Thanks, John. Okay, we'll table that one. The
No
next,
problem.
the next thing is the airbag rescue system and equipment.
Janet, do I assume that you want us to purchase this?
Did Janet disappear?
Did she? She was
Yeah.
having trouble. Let
Right,
me,
yeah.
she might be. Oh, yep, she's an attendee. So let me promote her again. Okay, she's coming.
Okay. Uh-oh, he's on mute.
Here she comes. Oh. Hi, Janet.
Oh, I'm crooked again. I don't know how that, how
Just
to
hurt
fix
your neck.
that. Oh, my Lord. That happened the other night too. Eric tried to show me how to do it, but I'm just gonna be crooked. That's all right. I don't care.
You're sideways.
Looks like you're in bed already.
It does.
I don't, it's all right. Yeah, I don't know the price difference of the Tahoes but I think that's a good idea. Ask them what they want and see, but I mean, a new Tahoe is like $75,000.
Well, I think their price quote was 53, including the special equipment.
I'll
Are they getting a
find
bro-
out more.
Yeah,
A Tahoe can be all the way up to 70, 80,000.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what you
but
put it in.
they also got it on the state bid.
good enough.
But my question to you before, which made us realize you were among the missing, was are you one who wants to really support the airbag rescue system for $15,064?
Well, the thing that I said was, that was one of the pieces of equipment that they really wanted and for Skip when he was trapped in that piece of apparatus. I do know, and I have seen them work, there are multiple size bags in this kit, and they can use, many departments potentially could have use for them, which Chief Clark also mentioned at FinCom, not just the fire department. They have a lot of other uses. So I know it seemed like small money for something that had a lot of positives to it when he gave his presentation.
Okay, I'm ready to vote on that then.
Okay, so I'll propose that we vote to spend our first purchase for 2023 on airbag rescue systems and equipment. Any seconds?
Second.
Perfect. Any discussion, questions, concerns? Nope. All those in favor say aye.
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 Perfect. Yay, approved.
Yay. Okay, next up is the police cruiser.
Which we're gonna table until we hear back about
Okay,
electric vehicles,
okay. so
hybrid vehicles.
Okay, so that one's held. All right, next. Okay. Municipal facilities assessment. And I know that we're gonna still plan on proceeding with a walkthrough of the buildings. And I just want to note that there is the administrative finance team is going to be presenting to the select board on Monday night information on ARPA funds that the town can avail itself of. It's not really even ARPA funds. It's revenue replacement or revenue loss due to COVID. And so the US Treasury has doled out billions of dollars to municipalities, counties, states, everybody. Berlin's share of this money over the course of the current year and FY23 is almost $1 million. And the administrative finance team is working right now on a policy and plan for use of these funds. The funds are going to be allowed to be used for any legitimate governmental purpose. And we know that there are some things that have been discussed, like a facilities assessment, for a while now to really assess the condition, energy efficiency, use, reuse, disposition of our town buildings. So my thought on this line was to see if the town deems a facilities assessment a priority, the select board would have authority to appropriate the funds, which are considered kind of grant funds. They would have the authority to appropriate funds to be able to conduct a professional facilities assessment, with an architect, engineers, and things, similar to what the school did with the Berlin Memorial School. So this is a relatively new development where we found that this money is going to be available to us, and taking care of our aging buildings is important, as we all know. So I'm going to suggest that this be held for now, with the understanding that I'm going to advocate for use of ARPA funds to do something like this, so that we can really have an expert come in and tell us, from a capital planning perspective, what needs to be done in our buildings and what order should it be done. So anyway, that's what I'm proposing right now, is to hold this until we present this idea to the select board on Monday and see what their thoughts might be.
Didn't Maya have something like this like a year ago?
They actually had a risk management grant. It's much, much smaller. It's like 5,000, maybe it was 15,000. It was a much, much smaller amount. We were able to put railings at the top of our town offices, anti-slip rails, so people wouldn't
Okay.
fall off the roof. So they had something similar, but on a much smaller scale.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Great. I think waiting for funding sounds like a great idea, as long as we're not waiting years. Because we've been talking about this for years.
I know. So this is where the capital planning committee comes in, because when the select board looks to the community or to various boards and committees and the community for priority needs, this could certainly be identified as one of those. So,
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see what the board thinks on Monday night.
Okay.
Okay. This same thing is going to apply on Victoria's request below. So, all right. So here's the bridge. This thing keeps popping up. Hold on here. All right. So here's the bridge. We are waiting for that engineering proposal, and we're proposing to use a combination of our Chapter 90 monies and a small bridge grant to be able to do this work. I don't think that there's going to be any local funding in addition to that that's required. And then there's the hot top, the annual hot top. Oh, would you like to deal with that
Yeah.
one?
We can just vote on the hot top, right? That's just one of those ones that's standard, right?
Yep.
Every year.
Yeah, every year. So I make a motion that we vote to approve the 80,000 in hot top requests, as we do every year.
I
Second,
second that. Yeah.
Perfect. All those in, any discussion? Nope. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you are on a roll. Okay, there's another. All right, let me, this thing keeps popping up. Okay, next up is, okay, Highways request to replace their 2006 one-ton dump truck with the same type of dump truck, a Ford F-550 with a heavy-duty plow.
I feel like I missed this discussion. Did we have?
What happened to the old one? Still there?
It's old and rusty.
It is.
Rusty?
Yeah, it is. And I could actually, I'm sharing my screen. I was going to say I could show pictures. Fred gave pictures.
Yeah, he gave us pictures.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's the one. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Oh, would you like me to pull that up and show the pictures on the screen?
No, it's okay. I think it's-
Okay. You don't want to see the underbody rot?
I did.
It's
Oh,
under the-
now I remember.
It's the Fred Flintstone,
I've seen a
remember?
lot of them.
That's right.
You know, you just put your feet through and move like Fred and Barney.
Okay.
That's right.
Can I make a motion that we support this project?
We'll second it. Okay.
Okay. Should we move forward to voting on it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it to a vote that we agree to replace the 2006 dump truck with a brand new dump truck. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion, concerns, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I
Okay.
Okay, and what's next? Let's see. Not much more, actually. We're almost
Just
done.
the COA? Yep.
Okay, so this is the COA, yeah. Now, my thought on this one, given the fact that we're going to be looking at ARPA funds and the various buildings, I know Victoria had said, maybe we could look at a feasibility study, look at reuse potential for some of our existing spaces. So the $10,000 that she's requesting here for FY23, I'm wondering if we could tie in with a facilities assessment.
I would
Okay.
think so.
I would try until they say no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so do you want to hold that one then?
Yes.
Sure, why don't we hold it until, at least through Monday,
Okay.
or until our next meeting, and then maybe we'll have some more information.
And by the way, Capital Planning Committee, you're welcome to attend the Select Board's meeting. And when this comes up, it's really going to be a brief discussion, but when it comes up, you're always welcome to raise your hand and be recognized. Be the first to speak up. So the next item is the Planning Board's master plan updates. I know they've requested this in the past. They didn't this past year, but they tend to request $5,000 to update the various chapters. You know, they pick a chapter and update it for the master plan.
I make a motion that we approve the $5,000.
Seconded. Any discussion?
Oh,
All those in favor? Aye.
I,
Whoops. My gosh, I can't type. Okay. This next one I'm going to suggest that you hold, because there is a question as to, you know, the Conservation Commission is looking at applying for 2 different grants. I believe both are, I shouldn't say I believe, I need to find out if both of the grants, there's an MVP grant, which is Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness, and then there's a federal land and water protection grant. They may both be reimbursement grants. And so I think Conservation Commission is looking for funding. When they submitted their request to you for FY23, they were looking at the potential of needing additional CPA funds in the same amount as FY22. Peg Stone and I have a meeting with the chair of the Conservation Commission. Carolyn, yes, Carolyn and Maddie Vandenboom, who's the temporary conservation agent, on Tuesday. And so I expect we'll have a little more information on this one after our meeting.
Great. I would certainly suggest that we hold off for more information. I also would assume that the CPA committee themselves would have something to say on this matter before we do.
I
Mhm.
think we're meeting either next week or the week after.
Okay.
Great. Okay. And next is, oh, this is an easy one for you, I think, this next one. This is for, this is your own, this would be your own request to fund the Capital Stabilization Fund and build the balance in that fund. So this one is funded based on the free cash guidelines we have that indicate that capital stabilization funding from free cash is not less than 10%. And this 197,614 represents 10% of the available certified free cash.
I make a motion that we support this, although I will qualify my statement. If we need additional funds to do the South Street Bridge, that I would go, and or the regular stabilization.
So
I don't want to
might-
be going down to the transfer station and go, oops.
you don't want to fall through the bridge.
Well, I am a big lady.
I would suggest then maybe we consider tabling this one as well till our next meeting. Hopefully we'll
Okay.
have bridge funding and knowledge as well at that point.
There is, yes, and I am super optimistic about our ability to get infrastructure funding on the bridge. So sure, we can wait till your next meeting on that.
Okay.
And guess what? That's the end. Now, I don't know if you saw, Berlin Memorial School hasn't submitted anything formally yet, but looking at their preliminary budget presentation that they made to the school committee, it looks as though Berlin Memorial School has $68,000 again this year in capital requests.
Just have to
None
put
of
my
which
dog
are, Excuse me? Oh, none of which are these from the former column.
Ah.
They're all based on that facilities assessment. So they just haven't submitted anything to us yet. So I don't have anything concrete from them. Would you like me to reach out to Bob, to administration, and see if they might be able to attend your next meeting to give you a sense of what they might be looking for?
That would be
I'd rather,
lovely.
I'd rather see a document first.
Yeah, maybe they could bring us a document or
I've
submit it
got-
prior to the next meeting.
Well, I am looking at the operating budget impact that they gave us for fiscal year 2020. So I'm assuming that a lot of them would be similar. I don't know. I wanted to see a document so that I can look between what they submitted last year and what they want next year.
Right after we get off tonight, I'm going to send all of you, I think Janet already has it. I'm going to send all of you the preliminary budget presentation they did for the school committee. In that, I believe in that they do indicate a couple of non-debt capital items that they're looking at doing. And that includes a couple for Tohoto as well, some smaller costs outside their debt service.
Thank you.
So that's that. And here is there's the total. And again, the available funds, proposed uses, and available funds down the bottom here. So it's close.
Mhm.
It seems to be a fairly light year, but then again, community preservation articles haven't been presented yet. So, Anna, I'm gonna, if you want to make changes to that spreadsheet to make it easier to follow, you're more than welcome to. I was trying to put it together, like, how can I do the capital plan and keep the FY23 requests in there without breaking them up too much? And so you're welcome to do whatever you need to do.
Maybe I'll play with it a little. Maybe there's a way to separate, like keep everything and then separate just 1 year so we could just go back to one page.
Perfect.
But I'll play. We'll see. I'm certainly not an Excel experienced user.
If you, if you wanted to tell me what you wanted to do with it, like if I could work on it.
I would like it to be blue and purple.
I could do
Have
that.
flashy lights.
And tears on some of them.
Yes, yes. Frowny faces. Can we get emoticons?
Oh, I want to go back into that spreadsheet now to see what I could do to it. Oh gosh. So when is your next meeting scheduled?
I believe it's 2 weeks from today.
Cool. Okay, so you're going to be scheduled to be to present the capital plan to the board on January 31st because your date is February 1st. So January 31st happens to be the last Monday. All right, so 2 weeks from today. And you don't want me to invite the school to your next meeting. You'd rather see that preliminary budget proposal first, right?
I would say they could get a budget to us before the meeting and then come to the meeting to help defend their budget. Defend it in a good way, not in a bad way. Eloise, did you have thoughts?
No, I think you stated it well.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'll get you that preliminary budget proposal right after this meeting. If it's missing the page that includes the capital stuff, I won't get it to you tonight, but I will get it to you tomorrow.
Janet, what was the finance committee's response to their presentation?
Well, unfortunately, they're doing their best, but again, there's a student that is really put a big, how do I, there's nothing we can do about a placement of a student, and that really did mess up their budget. Let's just put it that way. I don't know how else to put it.
That is life.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And they did their best. Margaret, do you remember the numbers that they stayed in? It wasn't that bad, if I remember. Stan didn't have a heart attack, let's just put it that way.
With the proposed budgeting, with the proposed
Yeah,
budgeting,
it was pretty good.
6.7%, that's, I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw it, I had a heart attack.
No, I
Wait, is it
thought, no,
0.7?
you're right, yeah. But I think most of it was because of that one student and
It's big.
oh, it's all coming back to me. They've also had a large increase in population, and they've got to hire a few new teachers. So it was a lot, but they presented it in a way that it was palatable. How's that sound, Margaret?
They did a good job explaining it. They did.
Yes, and there's not a whole lot that we can do about that. Oh, they need to hire. Unfortunately, our some of the new development, which is fine, has brought in English learner languages, and we didn't have a teacher that supported that. So those children absolutely deserve an education like everybody else, and that was another big increase in salary. And teachers make good money these days, so one new teacher is, depending on their qualifications, can be anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000. So that was another piece. They had to do that. I can't remember.
Have they completed their negotiations?
I have not heard if they've completed their
Yeah, I
negotiations.
haven't heard that. That wasn't brought up.
Negotiations for,
It could be
Teachers.
school transportation, it could be
Education.
unions,
all those things.
any of their paid personnel. The nightmare of when I was on the school committee comes back to me at times like,
Yeah. What
So
do we usually like to keep the school at, Margaret? I know I remember it now being 6.7, but I remembered all those other little key pieces. I mean,
we had asked them this year, the finance committee and select board asked them for an operating budget growth not to exceed 2.5%, which is what we asked of our municipal departments. And
right.
so I don't think that's going to be realistic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Those are the key points I remember, Eloise.
okay,
But
thank
they
you.
did do I feel like Assabet always comes in with this wonderful presentation put together, and
Oh,
unfortunately Berlin and Boylston have not always had that reputation, but I thought this year was they really did do a good job to explain what
They did.
needed to happen. I thought myself.
and they came in way earlier than usual to
Right.
even bring it.
Well, I think they realize that they're going to have to do something, and better to be ahead of the game than behind. And you had a good point though about some of the funding that, and I didn't understand that, Margaret, that they get reimbursed back from the state.
Mhm.
And we
Extent.
never know where that money goes and who gets that money back. And I think that needs to be addressed. I don't know who would address that or how, but I mean,
The finance committee,
yeah, but I don't know. And I'm going to be honest with you. This was the first time I ever heard of it. I don't know enough about it to speak to it. So,
That's the sped circuit breaker. So they get that about 18 months after they incur the sped costs. So what they're going to be getting this year, now they have skyrocketing sped costs this year. So what they're getting for circuit breaker money this year probably isn't going to nearly cover what they're going to need this year. But then again, what they incur this year for special ed costs a year from now, we'll be looking at that and they're going to be getting a lot back. So yeah, it's worth asking how they apply that money.
Or where it goes, you know,
Yeah,
because it's money that we really don't ever see, correct?
right, right.
It was news to me, very educating. I've learned a lot. I have a lot more to learn, but I'm learning.
Well, then maybe you should ask for one of their audit reports, or their last audit report.
Oh, that's a good idea. We could do that, Margaret.
Yeah.
I believe by law, we're supposed to automatically get one.
And I think, I want to say that I'm going to look for it and see if I got it in my email at any point in time. I think Bob Conry at the school he's pretty good. He's pretty diligent.
Yeah.
So
So who else? We had fire last night. I mean, not fire, police last night at finance, and was that-
library.
library. Oh, and just so you all know, finally, we're after the woman that came in to do the adjustments on our salaries, help the auditor. Tell me what that was officially
That's
called.
Human Resources Services, and her name is Sandy Stapchinsky. She's the one that came in and did the market study and
Market study analysis. We have quite a few employees in town that are not at their current going rate, and
they're not within the averages.
not even the averages. So the personnel board has proposed that we get them up to market rate. So that was it. So we listened to that. That was interesting. And Mr. Hodge's library is they have to spend a percentage every year of something that they get. So his is pretty clean cut every year. Nothing exciting there. So nothing really. Nothing.
No
nothing,
big shockers.
No big shockers.
Great. Anything else for capital planning? No, good. Look at
Thank you
us
so
go.
much for putting up with me upside down, right side up.
That's just creativity. It's fine. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn us at 7:50 p.m. and we will see you guys all virtually, I guess, in 2 weeks. I
All
know.
right, take
And
care.
I am forwarding you the school district's preliminary budget proposal in just a
Oh,
minute.
great.